Yo, what is going on? Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere, welcome to the Pig Trail Network live show. Of course, I'm Ty Hudson. Feel free to like. If you got questions, ask away in the comments section. Subscribe if you haven't already. And check out all the links provided for you down below. In the old, I don't know what's up with my camera. I don't know why it's, let's go down a little bit. Oh. What happened to my camera? Why is it so far? Oh, can we fix it? Can we fix it? I don't know. We can get there. Yeah, check out all the links provided for you down below. There's a Hog Talk podcast. Oh, and I'm wearing, you can't see it, but it's the newest shirt. Have I shown you guys the new shirt? Well, anyways, maybe I'll show you the back later. Cost me like $30 at the Fayetteville Mall to get this thing made. $30 because I had to go and stain my old shirt. All right. Yeah. Arkansas just shit the bed. I'm not going to sit here and blast the officiating. Yeah, I know. We can all do that together. We can all throw a hissy fit over the SEC officiating. Yes, it was blech. But you know, A&M could probably say the same, and Arkansas could say the same. But at the end of the day, this was, wasn't as good. It wasn't as good of a defensive effort as I would like to have seen. I've never seen a team with so many uncontested shots like what A&M had. It seemed like everything was open, and that is so unlike Arkansas. And especially there towards the end when they were trying to really, I mean, they weren't going full court pressure, but all of a sudden at the end there, those final 3 minutes, they were just lobbing it into the paint and scoring, and it just completely dashed your hopes. There were some questionable calls there towards the end, but it almost just didn't matter at that point. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with the screen here, but it's all jangly. Okay, so we'll start it off. What are their odds of making the NCAA tournament? I'm going to say probably about 10%. You're going to have to not just go to the finals. You're going to probably have to win the whole damn thing. A&M just absolutely took a shit on your dreams of making the NCAA tournament. I hate that damn program. I hate Texas A&M. What it be, Ty? What's up, Thomas Nunley? Another home roasting. I'll give credit where credit is due. Nebo was a badass with those alley-oops. Yeah, those were impressive. I liked Mason Jones' in your eye 3 though to respond, but he should have fouled out twice. They didn't call the obvious. Flat out obvious calls. There were some calls on Nebo or some misses on Nebo where I'm just like, what? I kind of felt like he got away with a lot, whereas Mason Jones, he got called on a when they were double teaming someone in the paint, could have easily gone to the other. I think it was Sills, and they gave it to Jones. There was another play there late where Sills and Mason Jones were trying to trap an A&M player, and they called it on Sills, and I think that could have possibly gone against Mason Jones. Yeah. I think it's over. I don't think they're going to the NCAA tournament now. That seems very obvious to say, I know, but I know some people are going to pull up, well, their odds, if it's about getting to 22 wins and looking good when you have Isaiah Joe healthy, you got a shot here in the NCAA tournament, depends on or the SEC tournament, depends on your matchup. I get that, but it's they're not, I don't think personally they're built for tournament setting. I just don't think they are. They just don't have the key ingredients that it typically takes to go far in a tournament setting. We've talked about that here. If they make the NCAA, how far do they go? I mean, I would lean, if you've got a gun to my head or you're asking me to put money down, I would say one and done. Of course, it matters who you're matched up against. I agree. Well, always next year, says Zach Smith. Well, I mean, that's always been the case, though. We've known that. Nobody here should be shocked. If anything, we're were disgruntled because Arkansas had such a legitimate shot here. We were actually looking at an opportunity to make the NCAA tournament when nobody thought you could. Hell, nobody thought you could make the NITs. Now, the NITs is like down here. Like, that's not shocking to anybody, but anyone who, especially Hog fans who've kept up with recruiting and the last couple of years of Mike Anderson's recruiting efforts, which were, I'm sorry, they were crap, especially when you look at size. And again, you've had guys transfer out that wasn't entirely on Mike, but it shouldn't be shocking to any Razorback fan that's been paying attention the last couple of years. You were not supposed to be even where they're at now. And I mean, look, I'm going to take the NITs, but it is disappointing because we were there, man. You win this game, like I said, you get 2 games in the SEC tournament, and even then, your odds, your odds are low. But at least you're still in it. Now, I think when you enter the SEC tournament, it's like, yeah, you're here just to wait for the NITs. I don't know. Lack of size will hurt us in the SEC tournament. And NITs or NCAA, whichever we make. Yeah, I agree, Dylan, 100%. Guys, it's senior night. We got home cooking as well, and we did. Alex isn't wrong. If we have to bank on the last game of the season to go, I mean, do we have the right to say we deserve to be there? Well, I mean, it's not about deserving to be there. It's just it's about defying odds more than anything. You could have absolutely, I mean, wow. Damn. You make NCAA tournament year one, and you weren't even expected to make any kind of postseason play. Is it football season yet? Yeah, I know, right? But I don't know how much better that's going to be, John. I really don't. All good though. Been a hell of a regular season. I'm proud of them guys. They fought their asses off and almost overcame to get to where nobody thought we could have been. I agree, Matthew. I agree. There really isn't any other explanation for this game. 29 fouls for Arkansas and 15 for A&M. 16 free throws more for A&M. The refs helped A&M get to where they are today. Well, perimeter defense, I'm going to tell you, I think was the worst perimeter defense I've seen this year by Arkansas. So I don't know about that. I don't know if I completely agree with that. This is Arkansas sports for you, Kyle. You're not entirely wrong there. Trying to scroll up here, get caught up on chat. People who think they could still get into the NCAA tournament. What is wrong with your brain, son? I know. Yeah, I don't know how anyone thinks that. I mean, you have to win the SEC tournament. You're gonna have to go and win the whole damn thing. I don't even know if it's about just making the final game, the SEC championship game. It's about winning. It's about winning that thing now to get in. That's where you're at. At least the Ladybacks are going. Yeah, they did. They lost though, right? Didn't they lose? I was trying to keep up with everything. I know the baseball team won. They came back around. They found a way to win. Well, I say found a way. I think they won like 54-3. I'm kidding. 15-2, I think. And the senior night explanation is true. This was their senior night, but I'm going to tell you something. The SEC network, you would think, and I said this on Twitter, that Texas A&M was like a 2 or 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. As much as they were talking these guys up, and I know it's a home game for them, I know it's senior night for them, but I've watched a lot of basketball this year. I don't know anyone has gotten that much love. It seemed like they would talk about Mason Jones, right? They do the typical, Mason Jones used to be fat, but now he's skinny and he's good. Like, they do that typical thing every single game. I'm telling you, you can almost just bet on that being, if they talk about Mason Jones, about his greatness, they're going to bring that up. And they will brag on Mason, and you'll get a little bit of Isaiah Joe sprinkled in there and a little bit of wit with that mid-range jump. Like, they'll talk about that, but then it was just like, oh, my God, Texas A&M, these guys walk on water. Texas, oh, my God, they're so great. You wouldn't think that they were probably not even going to make the NITs. By God, they're a 2 seed in our heads at the SEC Network. I've just never, I don't know what, were these guys homers? Are they Aggie? Are they a part of the cult? Did they shave their heads too and join their military and all that? What the hell was that all about? I'm sitting there talking, and people on Twitch, over on Luke Never Shaves on Twitch. By the way, if you guys get a chance to watch him, I'm sure he'll do more games. Throw him a donation. Throw him a little tip in the tip jar. You know, that's free, and he's honestly risking. Well, I'm not going to get into all that, but just throw him a tip if you can. The guy, I think he's done every single basketball game that was available on TV to stream. So shout out to Luke Never Shaves. He's the man. But even people in Twitch chat were talking about, like, and people were texting me like, my God, are these guys graduates of A&M? Are they Aggies? Substituting the A with an, I'm not going to. I won't go there either. Every team Arkansas plays are favorites of the announcers. It sure seems that way, doesn't it? I never liked Missouri or Texas A&M being in the SEC. And I can remember saying when they joined the conference, football-wise, A&M, that's going to be a problem, and it has been. You look at their recruiting in football and somewhat to basketball. It's changed night and day since they left the Big 12. Like, they all of a sudden, they're like, if they're not in the top 10 in recruiting, it's like, what are they doing wrong? Wasn't that way when they're in the Big 12. They have benefited greatly, and it has hurt Arkansas, especially in football, trying to recruit going down to Texas. They have certainly beat out Arkansas for some prospects. But going over the numbers for this game, as much as I don't want to, A&M gets the dub, 77-69. In my opinion, absolutely ending Arkansas's chances of making the NCAA tournament. Not mathematically, I know you could still make it. You're going to have to win out, though, I'm telling you. Let's go over A&M's numbers really quick. Nebo. By the way, they said Nebo was the player of the game. Did you hear the SEC announcers towards the end? That must be some good bud they had down at College State. Like, what student gave you that weed to make you think that was not a logical thought. Nebo was not MVP. I'm sorry. The guy with 30 points. The guy with 2 steals, an assist, a couple of rebounds, 30 points, who did happen to foul out and still had 30 points, was the MVP of that game. All right? Sorry, SEC Network homers for A&M. Sorry if you hear my kids screaming. I don't know what the hell's going on in there. It sounds like a murder. So going to A&M's numbers really fast. Nebo had 20. Hell, Mitchell had 25. 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Yeah, Nebo had 7 rebounds and assists. He had 3 steals. He had a couple blocks, 20 points. I'm sorry. Give me Mason Jones. Maybe call me a homer. I don't care. They are deep. And it's funny. They talk about what A&M, what Buzz had to deal with year 1 at A&M, yet they are so, like, the depth on A&M's roster is absurd. They could rotate out like 12 players. It's ridiculous. He doesn't have he's got nothing to work with at A&M. Are you kidding me? Look at this roster. You rotated out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. All right, I don't know if McGee actually logged any time on the floor. It says that he did. These guys shot 47% from the floor, 25 of 53, 8 of 20 from three-point range. I thought it was more than that. I'll make sure I refresh this. I thought they hit double digits. Let's refresh this. No, it says 8 of 20. Okay, I thought they hit 10. But 40% shooting from three-point range. They were 19 of 31 from the free throw line, which puts them just north of 61%. They got 20 points off their ridiculous bench, most of that coming from Jackson and Chandler. But, your starters, your league scorers, Mitchell, Nebo with 20, the MVP. Right, MVP, most valuable punk. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take shots at the kid. Arkansas from the floor, they shot 22 of 51 from the floor at 43%, just north of 43%. They shot 14 of 32 that's a hell of a lot of three-point shots. That's got to be, is that the most? Someone do some digging for me. Is that the most? I didn't have time. So that puts them right shy of 44% from three-point range. That's not half bad. And guess what? They did take 15 shots at the free throw line. There is a disparity there between them and A&M, but they did at least shoot 11 of 15 there at 73%. They got 6 points off their bench. Seals had an off night. Witt wasn't terrible. 4 assists, 10 points, 5 rebounds. But it really seemed like everything he did was pretty well contested. Henderson, who logged, Arkansas had 8 blocks in this game, Henderson with 4 of them, and Bailey with 3, and your other block was from Harris. And, of course, your only player to foul out in this thing was Mason Jones. Henderson, who I know there's a little bit there in the middle where I wasn't able to watch some of the game, but I think Ethan Henderson logged quite a bit of time. He had only 1 point, but he had 5 rebounds, 0 offensive rebounds, by the way. This has got to be the only game where he's logged more than 6 minutes and didn't have an offensive rebound. But 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks, and only 3 fouls. In fact, he was at only 2 fouls with like 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. That's not half terrible by Ethan Henderson. I'm starting to wonder if you do lose Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe, how much more important does Ethan Henderson come to this roster next year? I mean, I know it's a different position, but you're just talking about bodies. I wish he was more of an offensive, or had more of an offensive presence. He just doesn't. That's not his game. This is a Dennis Rodman type of player you're looking at with Ethan Henderson. He's going to attack the boards. He might get you a couple easy buckets inside. More than likely, he's just going to always kick it out and try to get the game set up. He's not a post guy. They need a post presence so bad. I haven't mentioned it here enough. They need a post presence, and I hope they get that next year, or they need to develop someone into having a better post presence because they don't have it. Free throw line, Mason Jones, 4 of 7, and I thought that was something that it didn't matter at the end of the game. Didn't really matter, but 15 free throw shots to their 31. I mean, look, home cooking is going to happen, like somebody said in chat. That is absolutely true. Arkansas did get home cooking on their senior night, and they've gotten home cooking. I mean, you typically always do. That's just how it works. The refs sometimes have to play to the crowd a little bit. They give them makeup calls, or they'll give the home team makeup calls. Unfortunately, my biggest issue with SEC officiating, though, is how much they've actually impacted and slowed down these games. This is definitely one of those, I'm going to say, one of the top 4 worst officiated games I've seen this year, but it's not why Arkansas lost. It's not. If you're going to make that debate, you're going to lose. If you go back and watch this game, too many uncontested threes. It was just too easy. Their presence inside, I think they probably, those last 5 minutes, I think all their points except for maybe a couple of threes were inside the paint. There's just a lot of holes in Arkansas's defense, and these are things that I think they've worked on throughout the year. We know defensively Arkansas is still a really good team, especially on the perimeter. But when you've got Texas A&M out here knocking down 14 3-point shots, you're probably not going to win that game versus anybody. I don't know where they rank in the SEC, A&M that is, from the standpoint of hitting threes. I wouldn't be surprised if this was among the highest they've ever shot, both percentage-wise and their actual made three-point shots. I did get a chance to watch them earlier in the year a couple of times. They look like an atrocious three-point shooting team. But again, that was also way earlier in the year. They looked terrible at the beginning of the year. They definitely, towards the end of the season, played far better. They just beat Auburn on the road. There's a lot of hype around A&M. I said on Twitter, they're not shit. They're not going to be shit. They ain't never been shit. Pardon the language. If my dad is in chat, he's probably earmuffing right now. But I mean it. Halfway mean it. They are going to be pretty good. A&M's going to be rocking and rolling. I think they're in pretty good shape to be problematic. I don't think they're going to be. You never know, especially with these grad transfers and how one player can greatly impact a team. You really don't know what to expect right now. We're way out from even beginning to think about the 2020/2021 season. But A&M will be problematic moving forward. But I like Arkansas's future better. If you want me to compare, I love the talent they have coming back. Even if Isaiah Joe and Mason Jones go pro, Arkansas still looking pretty damn good. I know when this is how it's going to happen. These guys are going to announce, they're going to have the notepad, they're going to screenshot it, and they're going to put it on social media. Respect my decision. And you should. Don't at them out of anger if they do it. I don't feel like Mason Jones is coming back. What was this? Was this his 8th 30-point game? Was that right? Or was this his 9th? God, I've lost count. He is in contention for SEC Player of the Year. He's going to test the waters. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a really decent draft grade. I have a hard time seeing him coming back. I don't know that you top this season coming back. I don't know. What can you do? The only thing you can hope to achieve by coming back is more team success with who you have coming in, with the recruits you have coming in. Connor Vanover being eligible among a lot of different things. Year 2 under Musselman. There's going to be a lot of hype and excitement. That'd be the only thing to pull him back, because I don't know that you can have any better of a year than what he had just this last year. I mean, he averaged, 14, 15 points a game in the last season. And this year he's north of 20 points a game. That's a 5.5, 6 point difference. That's a hell of an achievement. 9, 8, 9, 30-point games. I think he had 2 or 3, somewhere in there, 40-point games. That's incredible. I don't know that you can top that. So him coming back would purely be a team thing. That's it. Isaiah Joe, I think you have a better shot at coming back, but he may not. It may be the same thing. He may still. You got to remember the NFL draft, the way this is work, the way they kind of draw the line with these players. It's based on a lot of just projections and their potential. It's not always just about what they did on the court last year. It's about their potential. It's just like the Major League Baseball draft. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on with the MLB draft. There's a lot of things you have to consider. But it's different than the NFL, where the NFL, they're going to look at film. The NBA scouts, they're going to the front office, the GMs of these teams, of these NBA teams, they're going to look at film, but they're going to also look at his potential and what they're capable of doing. And I think both Isaiah and Joe, especially Isaiah Joe's potential is pretty high. And he may bolt. Don't tweet at the players. Remember, we had to boot somebody today out of our Discord. I'm not going to mention his name. You've probably seen him on Twitter. He tweeted at a player. I called him out on Twitter, and I told him we need to have a conversation in the DMs on Discord, and we had to boot him because he tweeted he shit talked a player. We don't settle for that. We don't stand for that. You will get booted out of our Discord, but respect their decision like they asked for. But it wouldn't surprise me to see both these guys bolt. But even with that happening, they're about to be stacked. And again, we have to remember you're going to have Connor Van. This team could look drastically different. You've got Moses Moody, Devontae Davis, who's the only player signed, by the way. Jalen Williams and KK Robinson, all expected to be here. By the way, Moses Moody, according to ESPN, they do these numeric grades. They have Moses Moody at an 87 grade, which is pretty damn high. They're really high on Moody. Devontae Davis has gotten a lot of love, especially on Twitter. All these guys have. I'm excited about Jalen getting some size in underneath. Much needed size. Let me read your chat really quick before we log it. Jalen Williams will be just that. He can do it inside and out. I'm really high on all these kids. Hi Ty, what's up, Castle Lord? Didn't get to see the game. Did we play that bad, or was A&M given some home cooking with free throw discrepancy? I do think the officiating was a pretty high hurdle for them to jump over, as it always is for an away team in the SEC. Sometimes at home as well. But at the end of the day, I think there were a lot of things that just wasn't happening. I didn't like how anytime Arkansas tried to box out an A&M player, they'd get called for the foul. Every time they'd call a contact foul when they're trying to box out, and A&M would do the exact same thing on the other end and not get the call. And they're bigger. And I know I've heard people say that plays a factor. That's ridiculous. Like, if you're smaller, how else are you supposed to get in position to make the rebound? I think it's a lot of different things. I think their perimeter defense, that was some of the worst perimeter defense I've seen Arkansas. And you saw, we just went over the numbers. A&M probably shot a damn season record on Arkansas out in the perimeter. And I think at the end of the day, that was definitely, like, you're talking about, you're stirring the pot of why Arkansas lost this game. A&M shot pretty damn well at three-point range, uncontested shots. Officiating, you could throw in the whole damn bag of 5-pound bag of sugar that is the poor SEC officiating as to that being a problem. But again, I think the reason is just it's everything. I guess I don't know. Dwight says Mason Jones Already had 8. So this is 9 then. Okay. Old Piss is down 2 at the moment. Someone's going to have to give me an update on the women. What was the final score? Yeah, Fishman says no live idiotic bum tweets players. Don't do that. Don't tweet players. Never tweet the players, period. If you're giving them a hey, good job, high five, I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. But if you're tweeting nonsense, we're gonna boot you out of the Discord. I better get that link actually. Let me do that really quick. I really don't like how they have this set up. But I will say, here we go. Here's the minimize that. Oh my goodness, here we go. Needs to be a one button thing where and you get that set up, a hotkey. There you go. There's the link to the Discord. Let's see if he does go pro, he will be missed. Him and Jimmy and Joe. What did he say to the player? Well, he already deleted it. He took it down. The individual. It was. I'm not going to go into it. I'll just say that I hate A&M so badly. 7 years in a row. Lost to them in football, and today's game was just so disheartening. It sucks because now I think LSU more of a rival than LSU or Ole Miss or anybody. Definitely more than Mizzou in that bullshit manufactured game or manufactured rivalry by the conference. I hate A&M. And it goes back for a while for me. I also know people who go down to that game in Texas to the Southwest Conference Classic. And I'm talking about people who go to every home and away game. And anyone who's been, they'll just tell you that A&M fans are the worst. These people think they walk on water. I'm telling you, it's the Kool-Aid that they hand out at their cult meetings. Ladies won. What? The ladies won? What? Really? Wait, hold up. This changes everything. Let me pull up Twitter. Are you full of it? Let me update Twitter. I like what Ty Richardson just posted. Anytime Aggie pisses you off, show him the picture, and it's Texas dominating the state of Texas. I don't see that anywhere. No, they did not beat South Carolina by a point. I'm scrolling through Twitter. Let me pull up their women's basketball. I wish I could share the screen here, but they got blown out. What are you talking about? They got blown out, 90-64. I thought that was okay. I was gonna say I didn't have a chance to get caught up on women lost. They got blown out. Who posted that? I'm gonna time you out. You fibber. Yeah, the ladies lost by 30. Yeah, I was going to say. Now, that's a team that's built for tournament play, though. South Carolina's just that damn good. He was saying the cheerleaders won by a point. Oh, I didn't. Oh. Josie. I ought to time you out for that one. All right. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm glad I could do this. I'm loving Ozark Go, by the way, y'all. I'm loving it. You know me, a lot of you. I test my internet 3 times, 4 times a day. Now, on days where I'm going to stream, I test it a lot more. I'll do the test on my phone. I'll do the test on my PC, and they are never below 100 meg download or 100 meg upload, and that is 10 times faster upload speeds, and it's consistent. God bless you, Ozark Go. God bless you. Remember, you can only get it if you have Ozark Power. If you've got SWEPCO or wherever you are. Basically, I guess if you're out of Northwest Arkansas area, I don't know that you have access to it or not. But I'm so thankful to have it. So far, it's been pretty consistent. I know I need to knock on wood. I'll do that immediately when I'm done here. So thank you guys again for coming through. I do appreciate it. Jacob, I don't know about Porter. Porter maybe taking a little bit of time off. But Jacob and Kyle, I believe, are going to try and record Sunday's episode or the Monday episode on Sunday. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit them up on Discord. But they'll probably record that, I'm assuming, tomorrow night. That'll be an interesting one. If I had time, I would maybe try to make that one. I'm not sure I'll have time, but I've still got a lot left to say about this season. Not a bad year. No reason to hang your heads. Technically, it's not over, but I mean, let's be real here. It's over for the NCAA tournament. NITs are nothing to be upset about. You weren't expected to do that. If you make a little run there in the NITs, that's just that much more to be excited about. I do hope that if Mason and Isaiah decide to leave, I hope they leave before the NITs, if I'm being honest. Let's let some of these other guys get an opportunity, because really that's all I'm looking at the NITs for. If you're one and done, who really cares? I mean, honestly. I know people will get – I say that now. I probably will have – I'll probably go on a little rant, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, I just want more opportunities for them to play some basketball, to get a chance to play a little postseason basketball. That's really all it is for me. Again, no reason to hang your heads. Good season. I mean, they finished – like I said, they finished, 5 games ahead of where I thought they would. Their regular season record falling at 19-12. It is what it is. A&M's going to go on to 16-14 overall, but 10-8 in conference play. Arkansas 7-11 in conference play. That alone is enough to keep you out of it. I don't even know. Hell, you may even win the whole thing and still get left out with that poor regular season conference record. But I do appreciate you guys. This basketball season was fun to cover. It's not over yet. We still got the SEC tournament and possibly the NIT, more than likely the NIT. So we got a little ways to go, and we'll obviously try to cover baseball as much as we can here. And then we got spring football. I'm excited about it. Don't forget, spring game in Fayetteville, April 25th, right? Was that right? April 25th. My plan is I'm 99% sure that I'll be there. I hope to see you guys there. And, remember, share the content if you'd be so kind. Tap the subscribe button if you haven't already, and feel free to check out all the links to all the Patreon supporters. Thank you. If you guys want to be a part of that, if you want to join the Patreon, that link is provided for you down below. A minimum of $4 a month. It goes towards helping out the channel. And if you don't want to do that, if you're like, no, I don't want to be a part of anything monthly, I'll just throw a tip in the old tip jar. There's a PayPal link provided for you as well down below. Diamond Hogs finally broke a 5-game losing streak. Yeah, we covered that earlier, Dwight. Yeah, they sure did. I'll take that. 15 to 2. I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, I will see you guys hopefully on Monday. If anything prevents me from being able to go live, I'll try to keep you up to date on here or on social media. So woo pig suey. Go grab a cold beer and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys around.